up, everybody? It's Big T Davis with Davis Dale. Oh, look at my eyes. Oh, God. I'm tired. Yeah, I just got done last night doing the 500th episode of The Throwdown with Tony Polanco and crew. That was pretty cool. Oh, God, it's 1 p.m. I usually try to go to bed at around anywhere between 8:45 and 9:30. I think I was up to like 12:55 last night. Oh, my God. Anyway, slow week for Davis Daily. I've been in the think tank this week trying to figure out what I'm going to do about Warzone Aftermath and other things, and just busy with other things. I haven't really had time to film. Sorry about that. No, I'm not sorry about that. You'll get more later. But anyway, yeah, so just doing some work, and I'm going to go home and prep for a big tournament tomorrow on the water. But a couple things I wanted to talk about real quick. Getting some questions and comments about the carnivore diet. Yeah, so I'm going to go through the whole spectrum here and how I came to carnivore. So, as you know, you have your typical American eaters, right? And they eat garbage. Soda pop, candy, fucking donuts, fucking food and pasta, potato chips, anything that's in a colored box that's processed. And if you've done any research, you know that they lied about the food pyramid. They lied about cholesterol. We're supposed to have high cholesterol. Our body needs cholesterol. Our brains need it. It's how we need it to function, right? So we need cholesterol, but the media and whoever, the health people, have told us that high cholesterol is bad and that's what causes plaque and gives you heart attacks. That's totally not true. Thank God for the internet. Thank God for people digging deeper. You need high cholesterol. So we've been eating wrong, and by not having high cholesterol and eating all the wrong foods and eating tons and tons of grains and sugar, we've created inflammation and heart disease and cancer. That's the truth. Inflammation, cancer, heart disease. Sugar is, I'm not going to say sugar is bad, okay? I'm going to say that everything we eat in America has sugar in it. And too much sugar fucks up our system. So it causes diabetes. And a lot of this bad food causes inflammation. You got inflammation, you got diabetes, leads to cancer and heart disease and high blood pressure, right? So you go back to the way we used to eat before we had technology, before we had agriculture. We hunted and we killed animals and we ate them. It's that simple. We didn't have agriculture at one point. There was no agriculture. Yeah, you'd occasionally grab an apple off of a tree, but you couldn't survive off of that. You were not eating leaves in the ground. You didn't go to the ground and grab leaves and eat them. Plants create these things to protect themselves from animals and things that might eat them. Plants are living things too, so their only protection is the chemicals that they create so that living things won't eat them. Yet we eat the plants, and on top of that, today our plants have been modified and they've been sprayed with pesticides. So, there's all kinds of stuff going on in our system. So, if you go back to, a lot of times carnivores bring up the Inuits. They lived off of seals and whale blubber and things like that. They couldn't grow plants. They couldn't grow fruit. Their main diet was meat from sea mammals and fish. And that's how they survived. And if you go back to prehistoric time, you can go all the history before we had all the science and technology. For a human being to eat and thrive, they hunted for mammals, they fished for fish. And occasionally in some climates they had fruit, but you couldn't survive off of fruit, especially in places where there were cold temperatures and fruit didn't grow. And then processed food came along and just screwed everybody up. So you have all these different people. So you have the American eaters who eat everything and get sick. You have the crazies, okay? So you have vegans. I won't even get to that yet. You got vegetarians. So vegetarians are like, okay, I'm not going to eat meat, but I'm okay with some animal-based things like butter, okay? Vegetarians just mainly eat vegetables and fruits, but they'll also eat rice and starches and things like that. And I think vegetarians still eat dairy. Then you have vegans. You have two types of vegans. No, three types. You have three types of vegans, but it's really two types, but one's broken up into two categories. You have the vegans that are eating a vegan diet because they're trying to be healthier, right? And then you have the vegans that eat the vegan diet because they love animals and they don't want to kill animals, or they don't want any harm to be done with animals. But I think a lot of those vegans get their knowledge from the commercial farms that treat their animals poorly. I'll get to that in a moment. The crazy vegans will go and stand in front of restaurants and tell people not to eat there. They'll throw blood on people. They do crazy shit, and it's probably because of a nutritional imbalance. Then you know, like I said, you got the regular vegans who just eat and try to be healthy, right? So you got regular vegans, which breaks down into, you know, normal and crazy. And then you got raw vegans. Now, raw vegans don't cook their food. Everything they eat is raw. Fruits and vegetables, nothing is ever cooked. It's all raw. They are the healthiest and, in my opinion, the smartest vegans. The raw vegans don't eat any processed food. Make note of that. And they just live off the planet. A lot of times they'll grow their own produce. And raw vegans are crazy, but in a good way. Not like the other vegans. Raw vegans are crazy in a good way because you gotta be extreme to do a diet like that. So then you have the people in the meat eating category, which falls under paleo and keto, which is kind of the same. Paleo is more of a traditional meat, fish, and eggs diet. Same with keto, except keto is high in butter and high in fats. Keto is low carb. And then you get into carnivore, which is, so you have animal-based carnivore, which is animal-based, meaning most of the things you eat are animal, and it's also low carb. And then you have the lion diet. Lion diet is no carb, and that's meat, butter, eggs, bacon, and salt and water. That's the lion diet. That's how I started. Carnivores are crazy too, because you got to be crazy. And when I say carnivores, I mean people on the lion diet. You got to be crazy to do a diet like that. You got to be crazy in a good way. Crazy in a good way. Okay. There's videos out there. They're great videos of vegans converting to carnivore. So what happens when and I'm not talking about raw vegans. I'm talking about the vegans that still eat shitty food, but don't eat any animal products at all and no raw food. So these vegans, they do the vegan diet so long that they're not getting the nutrition they're supposed to get, and they get sick, and then they switch to carnivore, and it's like a watershed moment for them. I'll post some of those videos. It's amazing to watch of somebody who's been a vegan for like 10 years take a bite of steak and just look at their reaction. It's absolutely beautiful. Here's one thing I'll say. I'm going to say one good thing about raw vegan or vegans and carnivores. I'm going to say a bad thing. Okay, so the bad thing about raw vegans and carnivores is that it's like if you're not doing exactly everything that they're doing or following the diet to a T for the rest of your life, you're not carnivore. So if you're mostly doing carnivore, but you decide to have a glass of sangria, you're not carnivore. Oh, okay. Same with vegans. If you have real ice cream, if you just decide to have real ice cream, oh, you're not vegan. You had real ice cream. They took that milk from the cow, and the cow was miserable. Okay, whatever. Here's the good thing I'll say about vegans and carnivores. Okay, it's the one good thing I'll say about vegans and carnivores. One thing they have in common, which nobody really talks about, is the reason why people who are sick, when they go vegan or they go carnivore, the reason why they stop being sick is because on a vegan diet and on a carnivore diet, you stop eating processed foods. When you stop eating processed foods, your body starts to heal. And that, in combination with intermittent fasting and exercise is like the last thing you get. You don't even I'm going to be 100% honest with you. To get healthy, you don't need to exercise. You just have to eat the right foods, and your body does the rest. Your body can heal you. You don't need medications. You don't need supplements. You don't need whey protein. You don't need any of that shit. Your body is an amazing machine. It's an amazing machine. It is the perfect organism, as they said in Alien. The body can do some amazing things. And if you allow the body to heal itself, you'll feel better. You'll have more energy. You'll live longer. So vegans and carnivores, the one thing they have in common, no processed food, no American diet food. So whether you're vegan or carnivore or lion diet or animal-based or keto or vegetarian or whatever, if you stop eating processed food, that's when the healing begins. So I know, so I'm carnivore and I'm animal-based because I do dairy. But, it's been a tough week at work. I'm going to go home and I'm going to have a glass of sangria. So what? Or if it's super hot on the weekend, we go fishing all day, I want to get a scoop of ice cream. I can do that. Okay? It's not going that's not going to kill you. But when you're constantly shoving processed food down, like if your entire week of eating is processed food, case in point, remember the days we used to have a bowl of cereal or 2 bowls of cereal every morning when we woke up? Cereal's fucking bad for you. It tastes fucking delicious, right? But it is the worst thing you can be eating. It's going to cause diabetes. It's going to cause inflammation, okay? And a lot of stuff they put in these foods it's addictive. It's addictive to you to make you want to come back. Even the most healthiest cereals out there are bad for you. Cold turkey, I stopped eating cereal. Okay? Pop-Tarts, anything in a colorful package, any of that stuff you see sitting on the shelves, cookies, potato chips, and I'm a man, I love fucking potato chips. I had to go cold turkey. I went cold turkey, I stopped eating potato chips, right? I stopped eating a lot of shit. I don't even, if I'm going to have rice, it'll be once in a blue moon. But, so apparently there's a way you can make rice where it's a low glucose value instead of a high glucose value. It's the way the Japanese do it and the Chinese do it. There's a way to make rice so it doesn't affect your insulin levels. So I'm going to figure that out. But I don't I love vanilla ice cream, but I'm not going to have it every night. I may have it once or twice a month, right? Bread is like the last bastion for me for carbs. If I'm going to have a low carb day instead of a no carb day, I may have 2 hamburgers and one of them may be with Dave's Killer Bread whole wheat bun, and I'm aware of that and I know what I'm putting in my body, but it's not like it was every day. Every day you're having a sandwich. Every day you're eating bread. Every day you're having pasta. Every day you're eating fucking processed food. And ultimately what happens is it catches up to you And you may feel good and you may be fine, but there's little things that you don't notice. And then you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you have diabetes, or the doctor tells you have high blood pressure, or the doctor tells you have heart disease, or you have cancer. And it's only at that time when you decide to make changes. I was told I was diabetic 6 years ago. And then high blood, they've always talked about my blood pressure. And I'm like, well, it runs in the family. None of that shit runs in your family. The thing that runs in your family is the way that your parents fed you, and the way that you cook is based on how your parents cook for you. Your whole entire life, you're eating your mother's cooking, your father's cooking, and you end up cooking and eating like them. You shop for the same things. You buy the same things. I ate Fruity Pebbles and Cinnamon Toast Crunch to my final day eating cereal because that's the shit I ate as a kid. Those cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts, oh my God, so delicious, right? But guess what? All Americans, and I'm only speaking for Americans, but if you talk about the American diet, we're all addicted to sugar. We're addicted to sugar. You have a sugar addiction. If you're watching this video, you have a sugar addiction. I have a fucking sugar addiction. Okay? And we all do. So you have to learn to manage that so it doesn't kill you. I said this in my other video. My blood pressure right now is lower than it was when I was on the medication. Think about that. I feel better than I felt in the last 20 plus years. And I'm getting better every day. There's still a lot of work to do. I got to get back in the gym. I got to get back on the weights to get stronger. I do a lot with the kayak fishing on the weekends, but I need more. I need more days like that. But I'm managing my food well. I grind my own burgers. I buy my meat from local farmers, not that commercialized bullshit. I'm making my own butter now, which is friggin' awesome. Yeah, so I have pancakes. I'll have pancakes once in a while. I have real Vermont maple syrup. And the main thing that I put on pancakes is butter. Because butter is an animal fat. It's good for you. So I'll douse my pancakes in butter and put a little maple syrup in the mix just to get that little sweet flavor. But I do it once in a while. Maybe once every couple weeks I'll make pancakes. And since I had buttermilk the other day when I made butter, I said, let's make some buttermilk pancakes. So, if you're going to do something like this, don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself. I always tell, if people ask me about it, I say, start off with the lion diet, which is no carb. And then once you get used to that, then slowly move into animal-based. So you can enjoy some things. But don't go crazy. If you go to the doctors and you get a good report from the doctor and you're losing weight, don't go eat a whole chocolate cake. Don't come up with an excuse to celebrate and eat a bunch of bad, shitty food. You want to have a scoop of ice cream because it's a hot day and it's the middle of the summer and you enjoy ice cream, that's it. But don't eat the whole fucking pint. You know what I'm saying? Don't wake up every day and start eating cereal because your health is great. You got to stay on the path. You got to stay on the path. And let me tell you something. Out of everything I've tried vegan. I did the vegan thing. Didn't like it because I just ended up eating more. I was eating more rice. I was eating more pasta, more bread. I'm like, this is not fucking working. And then I said, maybe I can go raw vegan. There's no way I could go raw vegan. There's no way I can do it. I don't even want to try. I don't want to think about it. It's just not sustainable for me. So I went back to keto, and then I went to lion, and now I'm animal-based. And every week I go to Whole Foods, which gets all its meat from local farms. If I don't go to Whole Foods, I'll actually go to the local farms. And my girlfriend lives near a farm. She gets local farm meat, so I try to go to a butcher or someplace that sources their stuff locally. And I get high-quality grass-fed meats and bacon. I use uncured, unsweetened bacon. So the bacon I buy has no sugar added. And then I'll get chicken thighs. Remember when they told us chicken thighs are the worst because of all the fat? No, chicken thigh is the healthiest part of the chicken for you. Do your research. Go on YouTube, watch videos. I will post something, once in a while from here. I'm going to start posting my recipes for you guys. But yeah, I'll wake up, have a cup of coffee with some grass-fed milk in it. I don't do heavy cream anymore. I was doing heavy cream, but I'm doing grass-fed milk again in my coffee. Um, Once in a blue moon, I want a sweetened coffee, so I'll put a little all-natural Madagascar vanilla syrup in there. All natural ingredients, no natural flavors, no bullshit, no high fructose corn syrup. Read your labels. That's the other thing I wanted to tell you. Read your labels. Next time you go shopping, if what I'm saying is you're kind of like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, if you're thinking like maybe you should be doing something like this, or you're interested in do, start by looking at the labels on your food. If your label says natural flavors, natural flavor is an addictive ingredient that they put in food, so it keeps you coming back. It makes you addicted to it. Natural flavors isn't natural at all. It's scientifically made to get you addicted. Look it up. It's on the internet. They've revealed that that's all it is. So if you get a box and it says natural flavors, put it back on the shelf. Look into doing some of your own work. Grind your own burgers, make your own butter. You know, there's things you can do to just make your life better. And you don't want to find out when you're in your 60s or 70s that you have heart disease, cancer, diabetes, none of that. And my A1C is still like 1.4 points over what it should be. So yeah, I've changed locations. I had some work to do. So anyway, so if you're wondering why my eyes look closed, it's because it's that time of the day where the sun shines in the window. I got a little bit more shade over here. But anyway, lots of work to do on the A1C. That's the hardest thing to change is your A1C. It takes years of work to get that down to normal. So I'm on the right path there. And a lot of people will tell you, oh, I can't give up my McDonald's Big Mac meal. I can't. I gotta have that. No, you don't gotta have that. You're addicted to it, and you don't know how to make your own fucking Big Mac. Laziness and addiction. It's what's killing us all. I gotta have my KFC. No, you don't. You don't gotta have that. You're just when you say I gotta have some. When somebody tells you eating a shit sandwich is bad, and your response is, "Oh, I gotta have my shit sandwich." You're in full denial. You're addicted, and you're lazy, and you're stupid. I gotta have this. I gotta have my bucket of cheese every day. I gotta have my Chick-fil-A. You know, I gotta have my Taco Bell. I gotta have my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, to each his own. Y'all can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm not sitting here telling people how to live their lives, but if one person out there watches this video that's fat and got diabetes and a lot of problems and sexual life sucks and they get something from this video, that's all I could ever want. But I am not here to tell people how to live their lives. I'm just here to tell you the truth. I'm an example of that, and though there's more to come. So I'll see you on the next video. I think next week Davis Daily is going to be the full 5 days straight. Oh shit.